Story time from Bristol, Tennessee. A tale of two restaurants. So, Mom said, let's go to lunch. It's just the two of us today. Everybody else is out, doing their own things with their extended families in that direction, and different towns and different states. And so we decided to meet kind of halfway, really, at if you know exit 7 in Bristol, Tennessee. I guess it's still on the Tennessee side. I don't know. No, it's on the Virginia side. I don't know for sure if it's on the Virginia side or the Tennessee side. Exit 7 off of Interstate 81 in Bristol. And I was like, yeah, sure. So she called ahead because we figured it'd be probably crowded. And she called ahead to IHOP and got us a spot for 2 p.m. Just a little IHOP, little midday brunch. That's what I figured I'd probably get, breakfast or something. Try to be a little bit healthy because I haven't been here lately. And so we get there like 10 minutes. Well, it's funny, we were both there early, but we didn't see each other where we were parked at. And then she texted at like 10 minutes till 2 and said, hey, I'm inside. So then I ran in, and we got seated like 5 minutes early from what time we were supposed to be there, and all was good. Lady came up, said, I'm going to take y'all's drink orders, but I'm off the clock. I'm out at 2. I'm going to see what you want to drink, and then the other girl, she'll take over. She's going to be taking over as the server. And it's like, oh, okay, And so we got our drinks, and the lady that said she was off the clock, she was still there, like 30 minutes later, still there. Nobody had taken our order, but we were just trying to be super patient and obviously just not pressing any buttons whatsoever. I mean, anybody that's having to work on a day like today, you just kind of feel for people like that, having to work these holidays and such. And she's like, yeah, I'm still here, I'm off the clock, but I can't leave until I can clear out my money. And the manager's so busy, he's back there cooking, that he can't take time to get my money. And now, mind you, when we got there, I realized that, their parking lot wasn't even full. And this is IHOP, and there was like, I can just count it up in my head, like probably 18 or more empty spaces at their parking lot. Because I was thinking to myself, well, it doesn't seem to be that busy at all. Most people must be staying in and having big family things today. But so anyway, the lady I was like, you shouldn't be working off the clock like that. And she's like, well, I can't just leave. I gotta get my money, And so she was trying to help, but I guess they only had one server in our location, and she must have been like a really newer person. And so she got to us, and she took our order after we'd been there. I think we were probably there like 45 to 50 minutes. And she took our order, and then like we were waiting for a little bit, but we could hear, you can hear things like over your back, off the side. You could hear like conversations and stuff, and you could hear that one server lady who was still there, even though she was supposed to have left at 2. You could hear her being like, well, you gotta do this, you gotta do, like, she clearly should have been the manager of the place, because she knew what she was talking about, and she was trying to get things together. She was trying trying to get everything to work out and smooth out, but you could hear like the other server like just going around and apologizing to people, but still not taking people's orders. It was really strange with the server. I don't know, like if that, literally I felt really bad, like maybe it was her very first day on the job or something. I mean, it was just bad. And then there was like 2 guys back, 2 line cooks, you know, and I don't know, it just, to me, it seemed like just an absolute meltdown of the management. I'm sure they didn't have enough people for the amount of people they had, but like I say, the store was not, I mean, it filled up, it started filling up as I was there, but it just didn't seem like they should have been overwhelmed. Like there was definitely some sort of a breakdown between management and the guys who were cooking, and then that server being, I don't know if she was brand new or what, I'm not sure. She was walking around like she had like an iPad thing, how she was trying to take the orders, but the first lady that was there and then the other server, I saw that, you know, neither one of them had that iPad looking thing. So this girl was like trying to be all tech savvy and it wasn't working out. She should have just been writing down orders like old school. And then the 2 cooks, I don't know what was going on with them. I mean, they looked more like they were dressed for an 80s like rap, like dance off or something, which I'm not knocking because I was an 80s dancer. I mean, I love all that. I love the dress with the bandanas on your head and your, you know, half a pant leg pulled up and all that. I mean, that's cool with me. I'm down with that. But if you're going to be dressing like a breakdancing ninja, you should be cooking up some food like a cooking ninja, you know. They were just back there. It seemed like there was a lot of conversating going on, and then at that point it was like 3 o'clock, I think, 3 something, and there was other tables around us where people were getting agitated. Like you could hear Mom and I were still just trying to be like super duper patient, you know, and just being really, really nice and really cordial, but you could hear some other, because, you know, not everybody's nice, even though we're here in the South and we're here in, you know, Tennessee, and especially in this area right here. I mean, most people are like super friendly, but when people get hungry, sometimes the courtesies and the politeness goes out the window with some of these hillbillies around here. And I can say that because I'm one of them. But no, today we were being super friendly. Just about everybody was being like super nice. But there was some tables, and maybe it was people that were just here in this area and didn't live here. Or maybe it was people who just moved here. You know, we got a lot of that. But they were getting agitated. You could hear people starting to run their mouths. Starting to, well, we've been here since blah, 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 da, 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 dee, 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 blah, blah, blah. You know, can I at least get a salad? You know, you got some crackers? Just, you could tell people were starting to run their mouths. And so that started getting the cooking crew, you know, the line crew, the lady who was now an hour over her time, that everybody started getting agitated. Like you could feel it just kind of building up. Like, I mean, there was never, by the time we got out of there was never any hollering or like real bad, you know, brutality or anything like that. But you could just tell everybody was getting like tuned up a little bit, you know, like if patience was a volume control knob, it was inching up, inching up, inching up. And so finally, like probably about 10 minutes after 3, that little server comes out and she's like, the kitchen says that they're not going to be able to cook any more food today. We're really sorry. We're not going to charge you for your drinks, so there's no charge, but you're free to go. And we're like, so no matter how long we sit here and wait, we're not going to get any food? And she's like, nope, they're done cooking. And Mom said, so they just pretty much give up? And she's like, yep, they're quitting. So I guess there was some sort of a pretty bad animosity between the management, the cooks, and that waitress who was still there working off the clock an hour over on Christmas Day, knowing good and well she probably had like grandkids or whatever at home. And they just decided to quit and give up and not cook the food. And so we're like, okay, so we're just kind of sitting there for a minute, like, well, let's get on Google Maps and look and see if there's anywhere else where we might be able to go get a bite, or if not, we can just, you know, go home and call it a day. I mean, it's not like we don't have food at home. Either one of us have food at each of our homes, leftovers, whatever, you know, but we were just wanting to spend the day together, was why we were going out to lunch. We just wanted to spend time together. And so we were looking, and she's like, Golden Corral, I didn't think it was going to be open, but it says it's open on Google Maps. And we're like, oh, okay, let's go to Golden Corral then. So we get up to leave, and then I look, and the whole top of the area where you slide the food, like where the people cooking slides the food across, the whole top of it was covered in food. There was tons and tons of food. So I feel like that there was food that, for whatever reason, they were not getting the food out to the people. And it was that new server was a big part of the problem. And I guess the other server who was working over, she wasn't taking the food out and delivering it because she hadn't taken the orders, so she didn't know like where the food needed to go or whatever. I don't know. It was a mess. And I told Mom, I said, I bet our food's sitting right up on there. I mean, because all we got, like, I got a chicken quesadilla and Mom got a hamburger and french fries, so it wasn't like it was that hard of a deal. But anyway, I was like, well, no, let's just go. We're not going to try. I'm not going to try to tell them, hey, that's my food. I'm not going to, you know, we're just going. And we actually gave tip to the lady that was staying over and working anyway, just for all the trouble she was having to go through. So we got in the vehicles, you know, we were driving separate. Like I say, we were meeting each other, and we get in the vehicles, and I was following Mom, and oh, you know what? I'm a little bit wrong on the time, because it was actually right at 3 when we got up here to where we went. So anyway, I'm following Mom, and we pull in, or pull out of IHOP, and then she pretty much immediately, because she knows the area, she goes there and shops a lot and stuff, and so she knows the area a lot better than I do. But immediately to the left there was a Red Lobster, and there was a few cars in the parking lot, just like not even like maybe 5 cars, and she just whips it in there, because that's probably my mom's favorite restaurant, but it didn't show up on the maps as being open. But she just like whips it in there. It's like, hey, Red Lobster's open. And I go up and I look, and it's like, but they had a sign on the door, and there was a guy there, and he was reading it first, and I said, are they open? He said, they're opening right now, 3 o'clock. And we were like, oh my goodness, how about that? I mean, totally overpriced restaurant. But man, for today of all days, when my mom and I are just trying to spend the day together, Christmas Day, and Red Lobster's opening, and I was like, wow, that's, I mean, what, just impeccable timing on IHOP kicking us out. I was like, we got kicked out of IHOP through no fault of our own. They just literally would not serve us because their management broke down. It just totally broke down, man. Well, we get into Red Lobster, and let me just tell you all this. I'm going to go on and give them a 5-star rating. Those folks, and it was mainly younger, it was 2 younger kids, and then another, like I saw another lady, and then I did see like another boy and another lady come in. I literally saw only 5 employees the whole time that I was there. But they just kept having more and more people coming in the door. More and more people. Like, there was just a constant line of people coming in the door. And those people at Red Lobster just handled the whole situation so well. And I want you to know, over the last few years, I had said, I'm not going to Red Lobster anymore, just because I felt like it was so overpriced. But that food today was just impeccable. I mean, the chef, whoever was there, you know, I had like New Orleans salmon. I mean, it was just cooked exactly right. The coleslaw was delicious. The baked potato was delicious. You know, just like, and Mom's food, she just kept going on and on about it. And the server was just awesome, super friendly, just stayed calm, cool, and collected. And what was so impressive about the whole thing, there was a bunch of us there from IHOP who had refused to be served at IHOP. A bunch of us ended up at Red Lobster. I guess people saw us pull in, and then other people pulled in. And everybody around us was just like so patient and just so like reaffirming to the waitress, and just like everybody was just being so awesome and so nice, and it just turned out to be a wonderful experience. And Mom and I got to spend even more time together, and it just was a really, really cool thing. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. I mean, I had talked my head off halfway back from Bristol, but yeah, it was just a really cool experience, and I just wanted to share that. If you're ever in the area, Exit 7 Red Lobster, they are on top of their game. And their servers, and their manager, and their chef, and their hostess, everybody just did an awesome job, and I just wanted to give them kudos. And just, if any of them ever sees this video, I just want to tell y'all how wonderful you were, and how grateful my mom and I were to have such a good experience. So yeah, that is my Christmas Day lunchtime good feeling kind of story. Much love.